Example number 9. Yeah. Take out your calculator. We are given h of x, which is given as 1 all over 2 to the power of what of x. What kind of a function is this one? It's an exponential. How do you know what is an exponential? Actually, the variable is on the exponent. So if the variable is on the exponent, it makes it to be what? An exponential. And then we go through our questions. What does the first question say? It says, draw a sketch of h, clearly showing the y-intercept and one other point. Now, if they ask us to draw it, now we have a Casio calculator. So we're going to go to our calculator and say we have mode. Okay? We have mode, and then we go to table. And then we type this thing exactly the way it is. We're going to have open bracket. We have 1 all over 2. Cross bracket to the power. Okay? And then we say alpha x. You saw how we did it, okay?
Yes.
And then we say equals to after the g of x, we don't write anything. Where do we want to start? We always want to start from the negative side. Okay? Let's start with -3. You can start with -3. You don't have to write it on your graph. If you can, do it. If you can't do it, you can't. Okay, -3. Where am I going to end? I can end with 5. It's fine. I don't have to show all these points here. I'm going to show the ones that are possible. Step it's 1. Now, when I say -3, it says 8. Okay? Let me go and check if my graph paper has an 8. Here's my graph paper. My graph paper doesn't have an 8. Okay? So I can't force it here because it says when x is -3, our y is 8. I don't have it. I'm not going to force it. But now, -2. What is -2? -2 goes with 4. This one I do have on my graph. So I'm going to shade this one here. You see it? Okay? -1. -1 goes with 2. 1. 0. Oh, 0 and 1. 0 and 1. 1. 0.5, which is half. Okay. 2.
0.25.
0.25. Okay, here's your graph now. As soon as you have your graph, you'll come and say, okay, here we're going to put an arrow. This thing here is continuing. And then you're also going to come and put an arrow here. This thing here is continuing. And then after that, you connect your dots. Dot number 1, dot number 2, dot number 3, dot number 4, and dot number 5. And then this is how our graph is going to look like. This is F. Are we together there? And then when you did it correctly to scale, dots they need to be on top of each other. Okay, now that we know how to draw this graph, then what is the second question? Go to the second question. It says, write down the range of this graph. Now, range, we have the domain and then we also have the range. Yes. Or they said which we should show the y-intercept, okay? And then we should show one more point. Yes. Okay, so what is the point that we're going to show? Y-intercept is this one. Our y-intercept, it says with x is 0. Okay? Our y is going to be what to be. And then one more point that you can show this one that says you have -1, which goes with what? With 2. Or you can show this one that says you have -2, which goes with what? With 4. It's up to you. But they said you should show one more point. Or you can come and show this one. I can already have this one. It says which you have 1, which goes with 0.5. You can also show that one. I will find it. Okay, next question says determine the range. How do you get the range? You're going to use a horizontal line. Okay? It's y, horizontal line. Range y. What did I take? I took the one which is Kevin. Insert. Okay. Now you go to your graph. There's no graph on the negative side. Then. There's no graph on the negative side. There's no graph on the negative side. What is the first thing that you touch? You touch 0. But now you don't touch 0 in the graph. No. You only touch 0 first. Okay? So it means it's not going to be greater or equals to. Here, it's not going to be greater or equals to, but it's going to say y should be greater than what? Than 0. Why do I say y should be greater than 0? Look at this then. Straight. Agree? The first thing that I touch is 0. And then what is the last thing that I touch? Infinity. So y is going to be not greater or equals to 0 because the graph is not in contact with the 0. So it's going to say which y is going to be from 0 up until we get to what? To infinity. The last thing that we touch then, it's our infinity. So another way to write it, you can write it this way. You can say y is an element from not touching 0 up until we go to what? To positive infinity. You can't touch both of them. You can't touch the infinity and then you also can't touch what? This. Where is okay? They say the graph of f of x is the inverse of h. Determine the equation of f of x. We know about inverse. Inverse. Remember, we have number c. We have y, which is going to be 1 all over 2 to the power of 1 of x. We want the inverse, which is f of x. So what are we going to do? It's x is going to be equal to 1 all over 2 y. We're not done. We want to make y the subject. Look at here. They said y should be the subject. Again. Y should be the subject. How do you make y the subject? You need to steal the base. Again. Who has the ability to steal the base? It's log. So this thing is going to say you have log 1 all over 2 again, x, which is going to be equal to 1, 2, 1. And then they will give you 1, 2. Are we still fine?
Yes.
Okay, last but not least, it's number D. They say on the same set of x, sketch the graph of f. Agree, this is f of x. This is f of x. So they say which we should draw this graph. How do you get an inverse? You are going to say whatever is x is going to become what? Y. Whatever is y is going to become what? X. So you already have these values here. Okay. But now, here's what you're going to do then. You're going to say whatever is x is going to become y. Whatever is y is going to become what? X. Let me put it here so that you remember. Yes. Eh? Yeah, inverse. Like you take it exactly the way it is. Let's look at it this way. This is how I do it. I'm going to take these values. I'm going to say 8, 4, 2. So I'm going to write 8. I am going to write 8. And then I'm going to write 4. I'm going to write 2. I'm going to write, what is the next one? 0. Huh?
1.
It's 1.
0,
0, 5.
0, 25.
0, 25. And then we're done.
Yes.
And then after that, what is this one? Y. What is the x value? After now you take the x values.
-3.
It's -3.
Yes.
Minus
-3, -2.
-3, -2,
-1.
-1.
1. 0.
0 here. Yeah.
1.
1,
2.
2. Okay, let's go and plot this one on our. -3 uhambisana no-8 angisho. Asize la sifuneni. -3x. X is 8 angisho.
Yes.
X is 7, this one is 8 angisho. So 7 goes with -8. Here it is. U-x ngu-8 angisho. U-y ngubani? Ngu-3. 4. X is 4. Our y is -2. Here it is. U-x ngu-1 angisho. U-y ngubani? Ngu-0. Says right. U-x ngu-0,5. X u-0,5. U-y wakho ngubani? It's 1 angisho. Yeah, 0,5 and 1. X ngu-2. Leyo ngubani? X ngu-0,25. U-y wethu ngubani? Ngu-2. Now you are going to connect your dots. Here are your dots then. You just put an arrow here. You also come and put an arrow here to say this thing here is continuing. And then you connect your dots as they follow each other. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then this is going to be f of x, which is the inverse. And then you can come and do the following as an activity. Activity number 9.